Republican strategist Brian Robinson is here, and so is Democratic strategist Theron Johnson. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning. Since we last talked, we had two major developments within the Democratic Party this week, and it's just Tuesday. Let's begin with Congresswoman Lucy McBath's sudden announcement. She's suspending her exploratory bid for governor due to her husband's cancer diagnosis. Theron, your reaction first.
Yeah, my heart and my prayers and definitely my thoughts go out to the McBath family. And for those of us who know Congresswoman McBath, her husband, Curtis McBath, is her number one supporter. I think her best friend. And you see them oftentimes together as she was campaigning for this office back in 2018. And then she announced her exploratory committee to look at running for governor. I've been told by many sources that Mr. McBath was extremely supportive of that decision. But what it reminds us of, Lisa, is that family is paramount. Taking care of your spouse is essential. And I think that what the Congresswoman has done is that she's just temporarily suspended her campaign. She's not ruling out a bid for governor. Her campaign and her staff was very quick to say that. But I think she wants to take some time to really focus on him and him getting better. So I wish him well. And I know he's a strong man, and I know the family's pulling together.
Yeah, we certainly all wish her husband Curtis well, and who wouldn't support Lucy McBath through this tough time. But Brian, do you think this could open the door for more GOP candidates to officially enter the race? You have Attorney General Chris Carr leading the way, but still there are murmurings of Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones and Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger both entering the race. Does this do anything to put fire under their feet?
No, it's a completely different ball field there. And I want to echo Theron's sentiments about Congresswoman McBath and her husband. I hope he's going to be okay. This does remind us that these people lead real lives, that they go through the same struggles that all of us do. And when people talk about getting out of politics to be with their families, it's often not just rhetoric. Sometimes it is, but it often is because politics is so consuming and it does take you away from other things in your life that are very important. So best wishes and Godspeed to both of them. I think you're going to begin to see some movement on the Republican side as soon as session ends. You'll see Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones particularly maneuver, probably have a big event to announce his run for governor. And we don't really know who else might get in. No other names have been floated all that seriously. It may be a two-man race, though that's highly unlikely. This is a prized position, the most powerful governorship in the country, probably because of our strong governor system. So there's going to be a lot of interest. I would imagine we haven't heard all the names just yet. The domino everyone is waiting for is Brian Kemp announcing his future plans, whether it's to retire from politics for now or to run for the U.S. Senate seat. Obviously, he can't run for governor again. So he's somebody that everybody's watching. And I think once he makes a decision, everyone else will kind of come out of the gates.
I don't think Governor Kemp is retiring. Yeah, we will be waiting to see what's next for him. Another major development this week, yesterday, it involved Congresswoman NIKEMA Williams, who resigned as chair of the Democratic Party of Georgia. This following criticism from folks in her own party. Brian, let's start with you this time. How do Republicans respond to a move like this?
Republicans will yawn and maybe watch with interest as there's an internal fight within the Democrats looking to succeed the chairwoman in this position. On the Republican side, the party infrastructure isn't what it used to be. It's different than on the Democrat side. A split some years ago between Governor Kemp and the party led to Kemp setting up his own parallel political organization. So the party's not who candidates on the Republican side really depend on anymore. So it's not as big of a deal for us. And frankly, I don't think most people, average people, even like ardent partisans who are always going to vote Democrat or always going to vote Republican, they don't really necessarily know who the chairman of their party is. So I don't think it's really big in voters' minds, but we're such a big state, so much money here, so many voters, that there does need to be a central nervous system of get out the vote efforts and a coordination effort between all the candidates. So having a competent party system is important still.
Mm-hmm. Theron, would you agree or disagree? You were aware that there were some none too pleased with Williams for a long time. Does her stepping down do anything to mend the party that seems to have been fractured for a moment?
Well, I look at this in two ways. Number one, I want to publicly thank Congresswoman NIKEMA Williams for her service. When she stepped in and took over the party in 2019, we were a party in Georgia who just lost a big gubernatorial race. But Lucy McBath, who we just talked about, was a upset. She had defeated an incumbent, Karen Handel, and so the party was still trying to find its way. And of course, she was at the helm when we won in 2020. And we've had some wins since then, but Lisa, we've also had some losses. And I think after this 2024 race, I want to commend the Democratic Party of Georgia and the executive committee and committee members, bylaws committee, where we really changed the bylaws to make this a full-time paid position. And so, yes, there's been rumblings about Congresswoman Williams' leadership. Some people said she can do more, but there's also a lot of people out there that are coming to her defense and supporting her and thanking her for her services. So she'll still be a member of Congress. She'll still be a part of the Democratic establishment. But I agree with B. Rob. We need more infrastructure. We need more money. We got talented candidates. We just got to bring the party together. We see the national polling with Democrats right now are not as favorable as it should be. So we got to make sure that we message better. But no, we thank her for her service. But now we go on to a new phase. We'll elect a new chair, a woman, a man, who will be anxiously greeted by a lot of folks who want this new energy, and we'll move forward. And more importantly, it's all about winning in 2026, and not just in the primary in 2026, but making sure that the party infrastructure is in place. Whoever our nominee is, whether it's a man or woman, but it'll definitely be John Ossoff in the U.S. Senate race. But all those down ballot elections that we have a chance to pick up, the party's infrastructure and efficiency is going to be paramount for our success.
All right, quickly, time winding down, 15 seconds or less. The legislature winding down this week. Brian, quickly, what are you watching?
The big item out there is the budget, and a lot of big discussions there. Some still lingering differences between the House and Senate. So that's the only thing they have to do, and it's the most important.
Theron, what about you?
Real quick, House Bill 638. This is a bus rapid transit camera enforcement bill. It's waiting a opportunity to be debated and hopefully passed in the Senate. Just dealing with bus rapid transit for MARTA and code enforcement with cameras.
All right. Thank you, guys. Let's talk live again on Thursday. Thank you so much for checking in for Political Breakfast.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Amplifying Atlanta, this is listener-funded WABE Atlanta. Still to come this morning, the latest in international and national news from NPR. The latest in local news from our WABE newsroom. That's just ahead.